Hello friends! I've got another Darktide build guide and showcase for you for the Psyker class. I'm really pleased about the way this one turned out, and I think it's my favorite build I've played yet. It's a very fun and active build that's all about control, bringing as much stun and stagger to the table as possible to let your squad methodically and unstoppably steamroll through the hive. If you like keeping your friends alive and your enemies unalive, this setup does that with professional efficiency. Every decision for this build was made with team utility and support at the forefront, though it ended up being surprisingly well-rounded, dishing out considerable damage and even clutching several matches during testing. I'll walk you through all the weapons and talents for a few minutes, and then I'll gracefully excuse myself so that you can see it perform during an Auric Maelstrom mission. The primary weapon of this build is the Purgatus Force Staff, the infinite ammo psychic flamethrower. I'll give you the bad news first. The Purgatus has a very limited range with a maximum of only 16 meters. And its damage output is one of the lowest, or maybe I should say slowest, of all the force staffs due to almost all its damage coming from applying stacks of a dot called Soul Blaze on its victims, rather than doing direct damage. However, it still does enough damage to quickly melt trash mobs, and it has the best coverage of any of the stabs, letting a skilled wielder face mobs in a 180-degree arc or more. And where it really shines is in how it pumps out an absolutely astonishing amount of stagger. The primary fire lets out a quick burst that will immediately stagger anything short of an Ogre or monstrosity, and the secondary fire lets you deliver a continuous stream that staggers anything stuck in it for more than a second or so. This equates to a weapon that will let us efficiently clear trash and stonewall anything else that gets within 16 meters of us, letting our team quickly dispatch the stunned and weakened mobs, or at worst, stun locking them until they burn to death if our team is otherwise occupied. The most important stats in the Purgatus are to have high burn and cloud radius. Cloud radius directly correlates into range, and burn dictates the maximum number of dot stacks a target can receive, capping out at 15 stacks when burn is at 76% or higher. Warp resistance and quell speed are both really nice to have, and damage is actually the dump stat since most of the damage comes from the burn stat dots. Best perks are going to be flak damage, followed by maniac, and unyielding damage. The best blessings are, in order, Warp Nexus for a huge amount of crit chance, and Warp Flurry to reduce the charge time of the stream attack. Crits on the Purgatus apply double stacks of the burn dot to targets, beefing up its damage output considerably. My third choice in blessings, if you can't land one of the other two, is Terrifying Barrage, which will let you stunlock your foes even more. The secondary weapon of this build is a dueling sword, either a Mark IV or Mark V. They function and perform more or less the same, with the difference being that the Mark IV performs a slightly quicker lunging poke attack, and the Mark V performs a slightly slower downwards overhead sweep. I found the Mark V easier to use at first, but eventually transitioned to the Mark IV. In either case, this weapon will be used almost exclusively for chaining heavy attacks into the meteor targets that our staff can't deal with quickly now, which is mostly going to be Ogrins and Mutants. The heavy attacks deal a stupid amount of damage and can make quick work of pretty much anything, but are only really good for single target attacking. Look for a sword with stats that are high in damage, penetration, and finesse, and use both mobility and defenses or cleave as your dump stats. For perks, look for maniac damage to help with mutants, and either unyielding or carapace damage to deal with Ogrins and monstrosities. For blessings, the best will be Uncanny Strike, which applies rending to your targets, letting you bypass armor and melt crushers and other big boys very quickly. Shred is my second blessing of choice for consistently higher crit chance, but both Repose and Precognition are solid blessings as well. Now on to the build. It starts off going left to pick up Soul Stealer, which will constantly be replenishing our toughness as we burn everything to death. Next we'll take Perilous Combustion, which applies stacks of our burn dot to everything around elite that we kill, which greatly increases our damage output against clusters of elite mobs like Ragers, Maulers, and Crushers. Really strong talent. Next, we want to pick up Battle Meditation, which works extremely well at reducing peril generation when using the Purgatus. This procs often enough that you can fire into a dense horde pretty much indefinitely, keeping our damage and stagger output very high. And that takes us to Smite as our Blitz. Even with patch 14 removing the infinite Smite bug, Smite is in a very strong place right now and will be the bread and butter of our build. It deals low damage, but instantly stunlocks just about everything it touches, and it can chain into a huge number of mobs. Smite can disarm almost any situation by locking down a huge number of threats and letting you and your team eliminate key targets quickly and efficiently. It's especially effective at opening up the defenses of bulwarks and instantly repelling and killing bursters. You can also dish this out into a group of gunners and keep all their guns cold while you move up on their position. We'll bolster the Smite by taking Lightning Storm to increase its control even more, and Enfeeble to help the team burn down those priority targets. Head down and pick up a node to reduce our peril generation, then pick up Psykinetics Aura, which will keep the entire team's main abilities on short cooldown constantly throughout our runs. Then snag Inspiring Presence to give the whole team a nice boost to its toughness upkeep. Next, we're going to take Kinetic Presence, which is a flat +% damage to all elites and specials for the team, which is just plain solid. That also opens up using Unlucky for some, which regenerates toughness for the rest of the team if someone goes down, which will hopefully come in clutch to bolster up the team right when it loses somebody. We'll also want to take one with the Warp, which will massively increase our own durability. That then takes us to our ult ability, Telekine Shield, which will let us summon a transparent wall that blocks enemy ranged attacks. Augmenting it with Enervating Threshold also gets it to stun specials that try to move through it, and Bolstered Shield lets us have 2 charges, letting us create multiple walls at once or in quick succession. This combo is really strong and just so fun and satisfying to use. The obvious use is to just prevent gunners and shotgunners from damaging and suppressing the team while you take them out, but it has a ton of extra utility. Flamer Fire, Trapper Nets, and even Beast of Nurgle Vomit can't penetrate the wall, providing a safe zone for the team to stay clustered together. Dropping it between a sniper and his target fully blocks the shot or causes him to wait and shoot since it registers as blocked line of sight. Dropping a wall in front of a downed teammate lets them be raised in situations where you'd normally have to fight on with a man down. And most hilariously, you get to watch mutant after mutant charge right to your sliding glass door and get stopped dead in their tracks, letting you easily bash them in the face and kill them before they disable any teammates. This ability is very strong and just so much fun to use. From here, we'll jog to the right briefly to grab a 5% crit chance node to help with our Purge Staff, and then pick up Kinetic Deflection. This talent is fairly situational in usefulness, but it allows us to tank monstrosities with ease, which can come in clutch when one shows up at the exact wrong moment, or if someone wakes up a demon host. Not that someone would ever be us, of course, we obviously never do anything dumb like that. Kinetic Deflection also lets us remain incredibly nimble and mobile on the battlefield if we get split from the group or if we need to get to a downed teammate, since we can burn our stamina for speed while still blocking lots of hits as we move through bad situations. Since this build is focused on team support, being able to tank literally anything that shows up in the game is a great ace up your sleeve. Now it's time for the Keystone. With the Empowered Smite bug getting patched out, Empowered Psionics just isn't strong enough to be worth it at the moment. Instead, head down to the left and pick up Puppet Master, which will increase the radius of our coherency and keep all of our team helping abilities active way more often. Then we'll grab Solidity, which will increase our quelling speed by a significant amount, which will be very handy for dumping peril after a smite. And now we pick up Warp Siphon, which grants warp charges on elite and special kills. Bolstering it with Inner Tranquility greatly reduces our peril generation, which not only helps us purge with the Purgatus staff, but also greatly increases the duration of a full smite from 9 seconds up to 15 seconds, which is an absolutely huge window to be able to give our team. Empyrean Empowerment raises our damage significantly, and Psychic Vampire lets us generate extra charges consistently whenever anything around us dies. And finally, Warp Battery increases the number of charges we can have by 50%, increasing all the benefits of the Keystone by the same. Just be aware that using the Shield ability will deplete all warp charges, increasing your peril generation and decreasing your damage temporarily, but lowering the cooldown of your shield. It's not really something that you need to micromanage, but it is good to remember. And that does it for our talents. Lastly for the build, for Curios, I'm running 2 health Curios and a stamina Curio. Psykers don't really have a lot of stamina naturally, and the Dueling Sword only has 2 pips of stamina on it, which feels really bad. A +3 stamina Curio really helps bring things to a manageable level. I like running with +% health perks on all 3 Curios, and dedicating the remaining perks to revive speed, sniper resistance, and gunner resistance. This build is very good at controlling the space around you in a tight bubble, letting your squad punch its way through thick resistance smoothly and safely. It really rewards an active playstyle where you're constantly rotating through Purgatus and Smite and your sword, dropping shields and moving the line of engagement ever forward. It definitely performs best when the squad sticks together and moves as a unit, especially because the setup has essentially no way of taking out threats outside of about 20 meters, and you'll be relying on your squad to deal with those targets. So stick together and work as a team the way the Emperor intended, and you'll really see this build start to shine. And that will do it for my commentary on this build. Stick around to view the rest of the run as a showcase of how the build performs in a group, and a demonstration of how to play it. Let me know what you think about this build in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching. Please consider liking and subbing if you enjoyed this video. Have fun face planting some mutants, and I will catch you next time.
Apply your ammo, roughneck! Your colleagues need you, roughneck! Don't touch me, Psyker! No, that's what I was looking for!
That's the warm-up, my darling. Main event's yet to come.
Raging! Kill! Stand up and fight! Creating bastion! Kill the leader, Protocol engaged! I call car! living bastion! Leave it be. Thanks, Marty. Follow me. Protocol demands that. Defensive protocols applied! Attention, Dalton, Delot! Go there! There is no more fire!
Medical station.
Medicaid, at last!
You not going purposefully slow or what?
Grenade available here! Make for the summer cold for a foot! Get up there! Grenade!
Bones don't drop.
Bulwark! Watch for flanking! Hostiles incoming! The Ogrim prevails! Hostile! Snipe is dead! Mary back! Flame neutralized! Fury does not have victory.
I work in the shadows. Slowing down. Ready is the time to take it easy.
Shot! Fucking demon host! Rangers and gunners! Protocol engaged! Weeping Bastion! Shield Drake! Come to me!
Strike team, do please remember that this individual has no authority. As I speak with Grendel's voice.
Sounds like I need to send some of my lads round to have a quiet word with you now.
Top slammer! Shield on! Take shelter! World's going to explode! Grip! Punch faster! Punch faster! Downward! Terminate the gunner! Strike corner! Aegis conjured! Kill the bomber! Efficient! Corner!
Just a monster.
Healthy body is more suited to
Muster yourselves! The horde is upon us! Shield up! Take shelter! Releasing gate! Don't feel right without approach! Push it!
There's the payoff. I've got fires lined up, so let's not disappoint.
They still have to get out. And by the look of these Auspex readings,
Now they ride the Ascension Riders to safety. Can be easier.
Executing! Careful! Sniper! Creating Bastion!
try to maintain the aura of
Protocol engaged! Got a big beauty! Strong! Wait! Justice can appear untimely! Weeping Bastion! Shield up! Take shelter! Oh, it's too Mounting courage with your heretic! Defensive protocols applied! Eyes on the track, Empress Mercy administered!
Well, that'll teach it. The riser should be working again now.
Shield up! Take shelter! No targets to hit! Fire like a fucking baby! Reloading! Aegis conjured! Lady Pacquiao! That Psyker is efficient, I'll give him that. Rough justice, Leslie. Let's neutralize! Praiseworthy efficiency! That's why you don't cross me yet! Sniper Psyker! Big duty's done for!
deposit my cut, Lady Alice.
Stop it.
For it's over!
I am here.
Blade, heretic! Weapon door! Drive them back! Shield up! Take shelter!